Okay, I'll start with the first question. What are some common misconceptions about healthy eating? Okay, so many people believe that healthy eating is time-consuming, expensive, or complicated, but the truth is it's much simpler than it seems. You don't need to spend hours in the kitchen or buy expensive superfoods to eat well. Affordable staples like rice, beans, oats, and seasonal produce can go a long way. Another common misconception is that you have to give up all your favorite foods to follow strict diets. But healthy eating is about balance, not restriction, with the right ingredients and a little bit of creativity. Healthy meals can be quick, flavorful, and satisfying. Small, consistent choices that support your well-being without overwhelming your lifestyle. And the first question for you is, how do mental health challenges like stress, anxiety, or depression affect eating habits? Oftentimes, patients are diagnosed with things such as stress, anxiety, or depression. They experience major symptoms from not only like their social life, but also the way that they're like able to take care of themselves, hygiene, and this can also in turn go to their eating. So some people who experience depression may like avoid eating in general because depression also comes with other things such as body image issues and stuff like that. Or, with depression, it could also go the flip side where they tend to overeat or binge eat, trying to like console their emotions. So it's moreover using it as a way to be like try to find happiness within their eating, but it's like oftentimes it doesn't really work. Okay. So
our second question is, how do you stay motivated to make healthy food choices?
All right, so staying motivated to make healthy food choices is all about finding balance and keeping it realistic. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on small achievable goals and remind yourself why you started it, whether it's to feel better, boost energy, or take care of your body. Planning meals ahead, keeping healthy snacks on hand, and discovering nutritious food you actually enjoy can make the journey easier and a lot more fun. In addition, just remember that it's okay to treat yourself, and consistency matters more than being perfect every day. And the second question for you is, can you explain the relationship between emotional eating and mental health?
Okay. So emotional eating is the habit of using food to manage emotions rather than to satisfy your physical hunger. So when someone feels stressed, anxious, sad, or even bored, they might turn to food, often like what they're craving, which is like high in sugar, for comfort and distraction. So it can feel soothing in the moment, but afterwards, when you have like a high dopamine effect and like you like crash, so you would feel that. And this behavior is strongly tied to your mental health because people who struggle with anxiety, depression, or even chronic stress are more likely to engage in emotional eating. So stress increases, which can like, when you stress, like it could maybe like boost your cravings. So depression could like lower your motivation to make healthy choices or lead you to eat for emotional relief. So like maybe you first feel sad, so you turn to like food to make you feel better, but then you eat a lot of food, so then you're like, oh my god, you feel really guilty, like why did I eat so much? And then you'd have another crash. So this could be like a continuing cycle, and that's how they're like related to each other.
Okay, so our next question for you is, how do you handle cravings or social situations involving unhealthy food? Handling cravings or social situations with unhealthy food is all about balance and mindfulness. Okay. Instead of avoiding these moments, give yourself permission to enjoy in moderation. If you're at the gathering, try filling most of your plate with your healthier options first, and then enjoy a small portion of the treats you're craving. Listen to your body, and sometimes cravings are more about emotions or habits than actual hunger. So planning ahead can also help. Having a healthy snack before going out can curb overindulging. Most importantly, don't stress or feel guilty. One meal won't undo your whole progress, so it's what you do consistently that truly counts. The third question for you is, how can poor health lead to overeating or overeating? As we mentioned, issues tend to face things like withdrawal, and oftentimes they'll neglect their feeling to eat, or like if they're having body issues, they will intentionally neglect their body's like need to eat properly. But oftentimes this hunger of like neglecting yourself and curbing a lot of your cravings can ultimately like lead you to binging like at like let's say like really late in the night after having a long day of like harshly restricting yourself with things such as food, not being able to like nourish yourself enough. Your body will still need to fulfill its like cravings and like your hunger, so it will often show in other ways. Or if they need food kind of just to rely on them as like an escape from like just the world around them, because oftentimes people are going through like a really hard time and they're not able to find joy within like their actual social life, and they're not able to feel fulfilled, so they lean to food as a way of like fulfillment.
Okay, so our third question to you is, how do you handle cravings or social situations involving unhealthy food?
Fourth question.
The fourth question is, what's your opinion on current diet trends?
Wait, it's the fourth question.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. It's fine. Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wait, fourth questions, right?
Yeah. No, you
Okay.
cut out.
Okay. So diet trends like keto, intermittent fasting, or plant-based eating have gained popularity in recent years. And while each other can offer benefits, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Keto and intermittent fasting may work well for some, especially for specific health goals, but they can be restrictive and difficult to sustain long term. Plant-based diets, on the other hand, focus on whole, nutrient-rich foods and can support both health and sustainability when done mindfully. The key is finding an approach that fits your lifestyle, supports your well-being, and is something you can maintain without feeling deprived. Ultimately, the best diet is one that nourishes your body, makes you feel good, and allows you to enjoy food without stress. Okay, so why is it important to address mental health when promoting healthy eating?
So, addressing mental health is important when promoting healthy eating because our emotions and mental state greatly influence how we eat. So, stress, anxiety, and depression can lead to emotional eating, cravings, skipping meals, or relying on healthy comfort foods. So, at the same time, poor eating habits can negatively affect your mood, energy, and brain function and could make mental health worse overall. So, by supporting mental health, people are more likely to build a healthy relationship with food and make balanced choices and they can maintain healthy like long-term habits. So it also helps to reduce guilt or shame around eating and making the journey toward better health more positive and sustainable. So simply put, when the mind is cared for, like eating more healthily follows.
Okay, so our next question for you is, what is one thing most people tend to get wrong about nutrition?
One thing most people get wrong about nutrition is thinking that it has to be all or nothing. Many believe that being healthy means cutting out entire food groups, counting every calorie, or following strict diets, but that's not true. Good nutrition is about balance, variety, and consistency. It's okay to enjoy your favorite food while still making nutritious choices most of the time. Small, sustainable habits matter more than extreme changes. In the end, healthy eating should support your life, not control it. And okay, so have you seen patterns between mood changes and food choices in your work or experience?
So talking on a more personal level, I mean, when I tend to eat, more unhealthy food or like have a lot of unhealthy food at like within one day, I tend to see that my energy levels are a lot lower than they would be if I did like eat more satisfying food and that's more nutritious for me. But we did talk to a psychiatrist, Dr. Carlos, and he talked about how it is really important to have a really healthy diet that's like set off balance, and that can oftentimes lead to your mental health decreasing, and not only just for people who have mental health issues, but in general you may tend to feel like less motivated and have less energy overall. So like definitely when someone is on like a higher workload day, it is really important to have those healthy foods to like help like maintain and sustain the energy that you need.
Okay, so our last question to you is, how would you describe the relationship between diet and mental health?
Okay, I think she cut out a little bit. So, okay.
Okay, wait. So the question was, how would you describe the relationship between diet and mental health? Okay, so the relationship between diet and mental health is deeply connected. What we eat doesn't just affect our physical health, but can also influence our mood, energy levels, and overall emotional well-being. Nutrient-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and healthy fats help support brain functions and can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. On the other hand, diets high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats have been linked to increased risk of mental health issues. While food isn't a cure at all, maintaining a balanced and nourishing diet can be a powerful part of supporting mental health and feeling your best. So, the last question for you is, how do societal pressures around body image influence mental health and eating habits?
Okay, so pressures around body image could negatively affect mental health by promoting unrealistic beauty standards. So when people are constantly comparing themselves to idolized images in media or social patterns, it can lead to a low self-esteem, anxiety, and even depression. And these pressures often make people feel like they need to look a certain way to be accepted. So as a result, many may adopt unhealthy eating habits like extreme dieting, where they like skip a lot of meals, or just emotional eating in an attempt to control their appearance. So over time, this can harm both their physical body and mental well-being. And it's important that we support body positivity and promote diverse, realistic representations. And this can help reduce pressure and encourage healthier, more balanced relationships between food and self-image. And it's also important that we realize that like a lot of celebrities, like they also do like plastic surgery and stuff. I'm not calling out anyone, but like they're unrealistic for a reason, because like it's plastic surgery.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
We do sincerely apologize for the laggy audio, but that wraps it up for the Healthy Bites X The Mind Maze crossover. Healthy Bites is another campaign run by both Ananya Anand and Una Kim, which is a community awareness program which they are also doing for HOSA. What we aim to do in this specific episode is talk about food's correlation to mental health. We hope that this helped, and if you do have any questions, you can ask below in the comments. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to see you on the next episode.